Hello everyone, this presentation is about the CO sensor for portable generator. So why I give you this presentation? Because the portable generator has a very big application all over the world. In China, we usually, when there are some disasters, we use the portable generator to give us electricity. But outside China, in overseas market, maybe every family, they have a portable generator because there are some big storms and snows which will break down their electricity, they will power off. So a lot of family, they have portable generators. And these portable generators has caused a lot of deaths and injuries. From this data, we can see that from 2004 to 2021, there are about more than 1,300 deaths and more than 77,000 injuries related with portable generator. Because the portable generator, when it is running, there are some carbon monoxide in its exhaust. If the portable generator is used in a restricted region, the carbon monoxide will accumulate and it will cause people to death and injuries. And from this, we can say that from 2010 to 2020, there are about 796 non-fire carbon monoxide poisoning, accounting for 40% of all non-fire carbon monoxide poisoning deaths. It is a very big factor. The carbon monoxide caused deaths, almost 40% of the total arrives from the portable generator. And this one, during these 11 years, the people with the age above 25 occupies mostly of these deaths or injuries. That's reasonable because about this age, they are working. And if there's the power down with their home, they need to check, they need to do this. So they are at the front. And from this, we can say 66% of these injuries or the deaths are white, because for the portable generator, it is about 1,000 US dollar or maybe more expensive. With this, you must have enough money to buy this. White is usually have a little more money than the other races. So that's also reasonable. And according to the different region, there is no significant distinguish related with these deaths. And about the months, it's usually from November to January when it is winter. And in winter, it's very cold, a lot of snow, and there's no power. They just use the portable generator to give power. And they usually use this at the garbage or at home. So from this, we can say that most of them are in winter. This we can also know that most of these disasters happens in this season. We need to select a sensor that can survive, that can also have a good performance at this temperature, because low temperature. Because there are some carbon monoxide sensor that it contains water inside. With the water inside, if the temperature below 0, it cannot work. So this also gives us some advice about how to choose a suitable sensor for this application. So the CPSC advised that every generator, it should be equipped with a carbon monoxide sensor. The function of this carbon monoxide sensor, it has two. The first one is that if the concentration is high, it should stop the generator. And the second one is that it should give an alarm to avoid the people that there's some dangerous, it is dangerous to your health. So that's the reason why the portable generator is usually integrated with a carbon monoxide sensor. And most of these portable generators are from China, exported from China. So for the application for portable generator, what are the key performance? What are the key parameters for this application? Because a sensor can be applied to a lot of application, but only when we can choose the most suitable one, can we get a good result. For the detection of carbon monoxide, there are usually 4 technologies can be used: fuel cell, electrochemical, NDIR, and MOX. And now most 2 types have been used on site. Firstly, they usually use fuel cell technology, but the sensor the ones used has the poison problem by the gasoline, so they turned to electrochemical. But the electrochemical sensor, because of the liquid electrolyte uses, it caused flooding of the sensor, which caused a serious, a very heavy fine. So now they turn back to fuel cell. Both of these 2 electrodes are being used on site now. So this one, it has the fuel cell technology. It has a working electrode, a counter electrode, and the electrolyte. The carbon monoxide and the oxygen just react on the electrode, and the current generated is detected by the external circuit by this. I measure the concentration very accurately. It is ideal for the long life and high precision application, because the noise is very small of this sensor. The signal to noise ratio is very high. This sensor is usually be used to measure small molecule like hydrogen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, oxygen, alcohol, gases like this. And this is the 3 electrode or the traditional electrochemical sensor. Except the working and counter electrode, it has a reference electrode. The reference electrode is used to prevent the polarization of the fuel cell sensor. And in this tank, it contains a liquid electrolyte. The liquid electrolyte, it can exchange with the outside humidity freely. By this, if the outside humidity is higher than the inner part, it will absorb the water and it will cause the flooding problem. That is what happened just this time last year. And also, just because the liquid electrolyte, the temperature range is usually about 50 centigrade. It is the higher region of this one. And the lifetime is usually about 2 years, because during this exchange of the electrolyte, the sensitivity drift significantly. It's drifting is about 2% a month. So the sensor, when it is used in industrial application, it is required. It should be recalibrated once per year. But when it is in the industry field, it has a lab. Every factory, it has a lab. You can take the sensor, go back to your lab for calibration. But for portable generator, it is usually used by personal use. We cannot establish a lab at our home, so it's difficult for recalibration of this during its application. And here is the NDIR technology. For the NDIR technology, it is usually affected by the moisture in the environment. And also the sensor cannot reach a very high accuracy, because for the sensor, especially use the optical method, if you want to get a high precision, the light path should be very long. The cost will be very high. So this one has a little application in this field. And also the MOX and the carbon catalytic combustion sensor, both of these two has some application for CO sensor. Both of them are needed to be heated to a very high temperature for detection. This one, it uses a semiconductive material with some platinum inside. When there are some gases, just like carbon monoxide arrives, the conductivity of this semiconductive material will be changed. By detecting the change, we can detect the carbon monoxide concentration. And this one, the catalytic combustion, it's also there is a platinum one inside to give the heat needed, and it's also with some semiconductive material and also platinum on it as the catalyst. When there are carbon monoxide arrives, it just burned at the catalyst to cause the bridge voltage to lose its balance. But detection days, we can detect the concentration. But both of these two technologies are usually be used for the VOC detection in residential and also for the commercial. Because when they are using for the portable generator, there's the problem of the gasoline evaporation. They will be poisoned by the gasoline. So these two, they have not been applied for the generator application. I just tell you that there are these 5 technologies that can be used, but only 2 are using on this field. From this picture, we can see that only the fuel cell sensor and the electrochemical sensor has the possibility to be applied in this field. For the MOX, it has the problem of poisoning. And for the NDIR, the accuracy cannot reach the requirement. For the catalyst, the lifetime is very short, only about 2 to 3 years. And also the thermal conductivity, the accuracy cannot reach this one. Only the fuel cell and the electrochemical sensor has the possibility to be applied, and both of them have been applied. Both of them have their own advantages and disadvantages. For the electrochemical sensor, it has the risk of flooding of the liquid electrolyte. And for the fuel cell sensor, it has the risk of gasoline poison. But it doesn't say that this technology, it doesn't have the problem of poisoning. Both of them have this problem. If we can solve the problem of gasoline poison, fuel cell sensor has more advantages over electrochemical one when applied in this field, because it has higher precision and longer life. And now, what is the key parameters when we are apply a CO sensor in this field? CO sensor is among the top 3 most widely used gas sensor all over the world. The top 3 are oxygen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide. So carbon monoxide is widely used. Every carbon monoxide, they have their targeted field, just like when the sensor is targeted for the residential and the commercial alarm. Its key parameter is the anti-interference from alcohol or other VOC sensor, VOC gases, and also the accuracy at the low concentration and the lifetime. Also, its power consumption. When it is used for the BESS system, how can the sensor get the ability of anti-silicon poison? It is very important, because in the tank, in the BESS tank, there are a lot of silicon be used. And also how the sensor can working at a very wider working temperature range. So that's the point for this application. For portable generator, what are the key parameters? Only we know the key parameters can we choose the right sensor. For the portable generator, first, it must have a good anti-vibration function, because when the portable generator is working, the vibration is very, very huge. So the sensor should have the anti-vibration ability. And then when the portable generator is working, there will be the exhaust. The exhaust, there are a lot of gases. The sensor cannot be poisoned by this exhaust gas. And when the generator is shaped, it is sealed tightly in a box. The gasoline when they test the portable generator, will also be kept inside together with the sensor. How we can select a sensor that cannot be poisoned, will not be poisoned by the gasoline, it is very important. After shipment on the sea for 3 months, if the sensor is easily be poisoned by the gasoline, maybe when you get the received the generator, it will not work. So these are the basic ability for this requirement, for this application. For a sensor, just like I said, the fuel cell sensor, they once failed on site because of the gasoline poison problem. So why the gasoline will cause the sensor to lose its function? Because the gasoline, the molecule is very big. When it meets with the catalyst, it cannot be totally decomposed by the catalyst, so it will just stick at the catalyst, cause that the effective area of the catalyst become smaller and smaller. So the sensitivity just drift and drift. And another reason is the electrolyte, because carbon monoxide is a very special sensor. For this sensor, we use a solid electrolyte. The solid electrolyte is a protein conductive one. Only protein can go through this electrolyte, but CO, there is not a protein, so it's usually together with the water from the air. If we cannot make the water be recycled during the reaction, if it is very dry, the sensor sensitivity will be drift seriously too. So these are the two factors that cause the sensor to lose its function. And for the electrochemical sensor, the problem is also with this two part. The poison of the catalyst is the same, no matter for the fuel cell sensor or the electrochemical sensor. But for the electrolyte, they are quite different. For the fuel cell sensor, it uses solid electrolyte. We need to solve the problem of dry. And for the electrochemical sensor, because we use a liquid electrolyte, we need to solve the problem of very dry and very wet. If the humidity is very high, there is the problem of flooding, which happened on site. And if the humidity is very low, there is the problem of dry too. So these are the different. When we select a suitable sensor, then we need to make a module. When we make a module, what point should we pay attention to? First, please make sure that there is a gas path within this module. That means the gas can get in from one side and go out from another side. By this, it will not affect the responsibility. And also, please pay attention to the ammonia gas. Why ammonia is so important? Because from this we can say it causes acid, it's acid, and ammonia, it will react with the acid and will cause the sensor lose its function. And this one, the white crystal, is the reaction product of the ammonia with the acid. And the ammonia is very common with foam and some plastic parts, which is widely used for the package and also for the shipment. So what is ProSense's solution for this application? Here, because most of the market of portable generator is in USA, if you want to sell a product in US, you must have the UL certificate, that is 2075 for the gas sensor. Here, I listed the performance of the 4 sensors that has the certificate. This part is about the sensor's storage. When the sensor is stored at different temperature, the sensitivity drift of these 4 sensors. This is the sensor drift during storage for the first sensor: room temperature, low temperature, high temperature, and high temperature, and wet, high humidity. This sensor is very stable. And this is the same data for the second sensor. From this one, we can see that even at room temperature, this sensor, there's some sensor that fails. And also at the 70 centigrade, some of the sensor failed. And this is that one for the third sensor. The third sensor, when the temperature is high and humidity is high, the sensitivity drifts significantly. I don't think it's suitable for this application. And this one is the electrochemical sensor. The electrochemical sensor, when the temperature is high, it is also the sensitivity drifts significantly because the liquid electrolyte is easy to interchange with the outside humidity. And here we do the test required by the UL 2034. It has a part that we need to test the sensor at a humidity lower than 10% for 160 hours to check the sensitivity drift. This is the 4 sensors response. From this, we can see sensor 1 and sensor 2 passed the test, and the 3 and 4, they failed. And this is the poison by gasoline. Also, these 4 sensors. We can see sensor 2 and sensor 3, they have a serious problem of gasoline poisoned. If we use a sensor like sensor 3, it can only give half accuracy, and it cannot predict. So this is a very critical parameters. Here are the material used for the PCBA or the module production, like the potting compound and the PCB cleaner. For these 4 sensors, only sensor 1, it has the fewest interference from the PCB cleaner. And all of these 3, they will be seriously affected by the interference gases, and it cannot recover the sensor field permanently. So this one we also need to pay attention to this. And this is the result of the sensors to alcohol and to the silicon. Alcohol is the basic requirement of UL standard and EN standard. And silicon, because there are some silicons together with the generator, so we also do this test. Only sensor 1, they have a good result with this test. All of these are vital to your application. So ProSense, we have a sensor that we got the UL 2075 certificate in March. It is UL recognized, has the ability of anti-poisoning and anti-interference, has a wide temperature range and also long life. If you use this sensor, it will give you operational peace of your mind because you do not have to worry about the failure of your sensor. So this one is our sensor. So this is the parameter of our sensor. And now our company introduction. Now ProSense is the sole gas sensor manufacturer in the UL 2075 and the UL 2034 standard. The technical committee, we are the sole manufacturer of gas sensor in China. And for the standard, the UL 2201, it is a standard for portable generator. We are the sole gas sensor manufacturer in Asia. So we are together with the standard committee to check that whether the standard meets the requirement of the special application. And we only have 4 sensors. The UL recognized the carbon monoxide sensor is widely used in residential and commercial alarm, in detector for BESS, and also for portable generator. And the hydrogen sulfide sensor for the solid-state lithium battery, and also the UL recognized the hydrogen sensor and our formaldehyde sensor, which has more than 17% of the market share. During the past 9 years, the history of ProSense, our customer, there are only new customers come to join us. We never lose one customer because our sensor, we supply the best sensor solution for the customer. And we can give the customer, our sensor is famous for its stability, because the gas sensor, all of these, they have the requirement of long life. If the application needs a sensor with a long life, the stability is the most important factor. So our sensor is famous for its stability. We usually keen on one sensor. Before we can make a sensor that meet the requirement, we never turn to a new one. Only by this, we focus our effort on a certain sensor. Can we make a sensor better? So that's the principle of our company. So this is our contacts. If you are interested with our company or with our sensors, you can contact with us. Okay, thank you.